A very good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to be here and taking the next few moments talking about my favorite topic, which is excess screen time to excellence. As part of my company EQ Shala, we work day in and day out working with the adolescents community. When I say community, it's about teenagers, adolescents. I cannot say 13 these days, it has started pretty early. Parents and teachers. Today we all have this challenge of excess screen time. I would like to start with a short story. Imagine you are taking a trip in your personal car and you have hired a driver. And let's imagine that that driver pretty much knows to operate mostly on the accelerator, not much on the brake. How would you feel? Pretty scary, isn't it? You're a co-passenger there. What will you tend to do? You can tell from there, I can hear. Any thoughts?
Get off the car.
Get off the car. That's not an option. Okay, you are midway. There is no way for you to get down. You've got to be in the journey. You've got to let the driver drive. So that's not an option. What else will we do? We start getting creative. We'll start becoming an active participant, isn't it? But instinctively, what will we do? We will start controlling the driver. Don't do that. Yeah? Reduce the speed. Yeah? We'll become an active participant giving instructions again and again and again. Right? So, why I'm saying this is for a reason. The neuroscience talks about how teenage brain is, adolescence, how it develops. In that, the emotional center of our brain for teenagers is pretty active. It's like that accelerator. And the rational part of thinking, slowing down, is like applying the brakes. So that is not yet completely matured. And I said there is no going back because the teenager is driving their own car. The good news, you are the co-passenger. Are you kidding me? No. Because as a co-passenger, we are already riding in that. As a parent, as a teacher. Right? We got to guide them. We got to help them slow down. That is our duty. So, let me ask you this. When was the last time that you thought you have 5 minutes of extra time, free time, and you'll use that for checking something important in your gadget, mobile, and you got pulled down for multiple minutes, hours? When was the last time? Few minutes back? This morning? Yeah? So we are all in that journey. When, as an adult whose brain is mature to slow down, to break, to think, pause, if we are getting dragged down like that, imagine the state of a brain which is still maturing, which is still developing. So this excess screen time or getting trapped into multiple hours of screen is not just us, it's the kid also, right? Because see, the accelerator there is also the algorithms are written that way. The dopamine loop that keeps us hooked for a longer period of hours. And you get into seeing one video, one after the other, after the other, after the other, it keeps feeding you. Before even you realize, it's going to be an hour or more where you have spent a lot of time. Very much relatable. So, the question here is, are we guiding their attention or are we letting the algorithms guide their future? That is the question we got to answer as adults. Why am I talking about this? You might say, Arey, we are living in the world of AI. Digital to hai. We need that. We cannot run away from it. For sure, we got to embrace. We cannot run away, right? Three things, threefold. The consequences are threefold. Number one, upfront time. We are very much losing time. Number two, the cognitive thinking ability. The thinking ability, we have got this precious thing called brain in us, right? If we are losing the thinking ability, Think about it. And number 3, the emotional connection with our children, family members, neighbors, peers. That time is taken away now. You know what? Bring behind the Silicon Valley leaders who are inventing all these things. They restrict their kids from using the gadgets, from using technology. I am not making this up. There is a reason why they do that. You can search for yourself and find out. As of few weeks back, there was a written testimony given by neuroscientist and educator Dr. Jared Pune Harvard on the dangers of screen, on dangers of kids spending a lot of time in front of screen. Today the challenge is focus, attention. Everything is just trying to grab the attention. All the algorithms are written in such a way that they grab their attention, hold their attention, and that's when they make money. Right? So the World Economic Forum has published about the top 10 skills required for future jobs. You know what? Though AI, of course, it's important, there are many more other skills like creative thinking, self-awareness, empathy, social skills. If you see the underlying current, I will put it in one word: emotional intelligence. That is more important for us to be future ready. Because the bots and AI agents, of course, they are replacing jobs, and for sure, that is going to happen. The automation is going to happen in a fast-paced mode compared to what was happening earlier. But for us to stand out, what will make us stand out? These skills. That is what will make us stand out in the age of AI. So in the future, information will be cheap. We are already seeing we are not walking miles together to take that one library book. Right? It is like this. However, attention and thinking will be priceless. In the future, information will be cheap, but attention and thinking will be priceless. I can tell you a small story on how we work. Because the whole intention of sharing this is not to scare you on an annual day. No? I'll tell you the story, you'll feel good. A typical teenager coming to school, academics are increasing after a point, middle school, you know how it increases steeply, all teachers can vouch for it. And kids getting into all video games, social media, chat with friends and everything, got super distracted. You know what a super distracted kid would do in the classroom? They'll make noise. They don't want to be alone, they don't want to feel bored. They want to make sure the other kids are also distracted. Right? So what will teacher do? Warn them, instruct them. Nothing works. Feedback goes to parent. Parent doesn't know what to do. Okay, I'll send you to 2 more tuition classes. You are free, that's why you are doing all this. Let me send you to 2 more tuition classes. Nothing worked. And somehow they got to know about what we are offering, the structured programs at EQ Shala. Then they said, what can we do? Can we enroll? I said, okay, let's see. You enroll, we'll see. 2 months, you will not believe. The next PTM, teacher asked, so what is happening? I am seeing a lot of attention that's being paid in the class by your kid, and the academic scores are increasing. What's the magic? That is the kind of transformation we work on. Because I'm sharing this not to boast about what we do. This is to say, I told you, right, I'm not here to scare you. This is to say that it's a skill that can be developed. We can work on that. It's like a muscle that can be worked on, right? When we strengthen the mind, the results naturally follow. We work on the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set together. Skills can always be built, but we don't have to wait for it to become a deep-rooted problem or an addiction. Yeah? So when we say mind, that is what an Indic wisdom we have always been talking about. Be it Bhagavad Gita, be it Ramayana, we have a lot of stories and shlokas that we could pick and say the importance that's being given to balancing the mind. I would like to take a couple of more minutes and wrap this up. Hanumanji, we all know he has to be reminded of his own strength, right? Similarly, now all kids, this generation is challenged with how can they cross this ocean of digital distraction with all of us joining hands. So it's not the question of whether it's teachers or parents or coaches or mentors, it's about and. How can we all join together, hands together, to make it successful? It's a saying that it takes a village to raise a kid. So similarly, I started with that story of the car. Our adolescents are the personal engine, full of energy, speed, clarity, curiosity and ambition. It's our responsibility to provide that clarity. And as parents, teachers and mentors or coaches, as co-passengers, we are here to apply the brakes as needed, guide the direction and ensure the journey is safe and also meaningful. So let us raise children who are masters of technology, not slaves of it. Let us build the architects of a future Bharat, Viksit Bharat, thinkers, creators and compassionate leaders by working together. Because future is not built by screens, but by awakened and ignited minds. With that, I would like to thank you all for this wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts in front of you. Thank you.